I would rather put it all on the line and figure it out than living like that, because I was like, I couldn't live with myself like that. You know what I mean?
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes. Right now, while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
We took our notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies led Craig and I to selling more than $10 million in premium in the last 2 years.
On this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the same results.
Just go to live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
If you jump on this call with us, we're certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.
So my business plan, when I did this, I started going this direction. So that would have been spring of 2021, about March. And I wanted to buy an agency in Alaska. That was always my plan. I didn't want to go scratch. I was going to buy an agency. And there just wasn't one for sale, and not where I wanted to live. I didn't want to live in Fairbanks. I wanted to be closer to Homer, and I just couldn't find one. So my business plan was I go scratch, and then year 2, I would start purchasing another agency so I could scale, get some revenue, get that residual coming in, and then I could grow. Well, that got kiboshed with the new 2023 rollout that they just did. So I got kiboshed, and I even had an agency set to buy in January, and I got kiboshed. And so
that's tough.
It's frustrating, but you guys are we were on one of our elite calls, and you guys talked about this I think it's probably September-ish. And you said something about the way the pay scale is and the commission and the way that we're doing this, you're better off to throw it all in your agency and grow it. Just go on the scratch and just grow it. Throw your money in and build it. And that stuck to me when I was like, oh man, crying in my beer the other night. I was like, I remembered that. And I thought, you know what? I still have something here. I'm still building something. Yes, I'm not going to get to buy that agency like I wanted and, had it all financed and ready to roll. But I got something here that's valuable. We just regroup. We pivot. I put that money that I was going to put as a down on that other agency, and I put it in this agency. And I grow this one.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
I look at year 3 and 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. So how big was that agency?
Almost 5 million or 4.2, I think, million.
So yeah, you can do it. I mean, you can definitely do it. It's, like we were talking about before, because I know you're in year 1, about year 2, right?
I just had my 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. So it's really speed is the name of the game at this point. So like the faster you can do it, the better. And you can, and it might not hit that exact number. You might be able to grow by 3 million or something like that. But the cool thing is at the end of that game is that you have a team and you can max the bonuses and all that other stuff, right? So that you're like an award-winning agency coming out of it, right? Where it's like if you buy an agency, usually you don't have enough rolling in to be able to grow it so that you can hit those bonuses and stuff like that, or you squeak by. There's a lot of work at that point to be done. Because I always tell people, like, if you're going to buying is great, but like you still need like you need that sales team in your agency to hit those bonuses, to not ever be on those lists, to worry about those minimum, all the low numbers. Like right. I've never known mine. Never. Like, it's funny because like I've talked to other agents and they'll tell me, oh yeah, what's your, I don't know my number because I've never even come close to it because I don't want that game. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend a little extra money and then grow it organically and grow it fast, know, so that just, I don't want to worry about that stuff.
Figure out
how to. I've never had a loan on my business. When I was independent, I didn't owe a penny. My agency now, I don't owe a penny. It's mine.
That's awesome.
That's a nice feeling.
It is a nice feeling. And maybe that's why that's maybe why I didn't go that. It just has gone this other direction I've lost a lot of money this year.
I think of the acquisition
unless you have a pile of cash and you're going to pay cash, like borrowing, sure, it can cash flow. And we could get an argument with somebody that could argue the other position. But I believe that like you're buying an asset that if you do not inject more new business into it, it's a declining asset, right? And you're paying interest. So you're paying more than what your ticket price is over the course of the years, double or triple, right? When you add the interest in there. If the purchase price on a 4 million is 800,000,
I was gonna say probably 850.
a million, whatever it is, by the time you get done with the loan, you actually paid double that, right? With the interest. And now this thing has gone down. You've had to spend money to maintain it, to break even.
Well,
and
immediately 20% is going out the back door as soon as you buy it.
that's the thing, right? Like 20% is gone. And every year 20% is gone.
Yep.
And if you don't replace that 20% of 4 million, and that's a lot, right? Like to replace 800,000 of premium just to stay even, because now you owe more and it's going down. So I just don't see it. Whereas if it's generating 320 or 400,000 of cash flow, whatever it is, you could get that from writing 100,000 every month.
That's my goal.
And it's much less expensive to write 100,000 than the 150 to 200,000 you'd have to write if you had acquired that 5 or the 4 million.
It's better to make the 100,000 and then when you build that up big enough to where you're paying too much in taxes, buy a new place, take the depreciation.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's when you buy it.
That's when you buy it.
That's when you do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. My business plan sucked. No, I mean, it was just, that's how I was thinking. I wanted to get scaling as fast as I could, but Alaska's a different beast up here. Like you guys have been watching me since May deal with crap.
Yeah.
And my sales leader keeps telling me you got more grit than anybody I know, because I started 12/1. I literally started without a sales leader or a new agent leader. I got a new one in February.
Oh,
I've had 10.
I mean, so you're
It might
just
be
like,
more actually.
I'm like, what? I went this route thinking I have a lot more support, and I didn't. But that's okay. You just pivot out of it. You just figure it out, and just like it's the first 6 months, I learned not what to do.
Right. Which is like that's the hardest part on that payout, because it's like if you can hit it hard right at the beginning,
you're golden.
Easy street.
But it's designed where you don't.
Right. You don't know what you're doing. And by the time you know what you're doing, you don't get that big money, but you could still do very well, which is not.
Year 2 isn't a bad contract either. And that's what I keep focusing on. Build my team.
That's why they designed it that way. You know what I mean? They designed it that way because they knew you weren't going to sell that much at the front. So, like everybody came out of the gates.
And, you just keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
How many scratch agents do you guys know that make it? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, is it versus buying an agency and going scratch? So you were scratch, right, Jason?
So I purchased one to begin with.
Oh, okay. And then you did the scratch.
Which was crazy. Like I purchased the one for $750,000, and without bonusing, which it wasn't an agency that was doing anything. The agent was gone, so there was no chance of bonusing. Without bonusing, I was going to make $60,000 a year. I'm like, I spent $750,000 to make $60,000 a year. This is the worst business deal I've like. This is dumb.
No, that's me moving from selling an independent that's black with great clients, but the 96% retention and moving up here and thinking, oh, this will be easy.
You got Northern Lights.
Hold my beer, Jason.
Yeah. But that becomes the equation, right? It's just a new equation. And then because it's so difficult, you figure it out. Like, because of that, I was like, dude, I don't care if I lose everything, because it's because I'm not going to live the next 10 years of this loan making $60,000 a year. Not going to do it. So I'll come close to like losing. I will lose everything. I would rather put it all on the line and figure it out than living like that, because I was like, I couldn't live with myself like that. You know what I mean? Right. So when you're in those situations,
I haven't pulled a penny out of this agency.
Nice. That's
not one penny came in but we're paying for itself. So we're in the black finally.
That is awesome.
I think I told you guys that in September. We're running in the black now. So we're finally on the right direction.
Oh,
then the renewals will stack.
I'm like, year 4.
It does. And when you get to that point, you're like, you wipe off the sweat and you're like, wow, like I can't believe that. I mean, that's like part of the thing about like not being able to sell next year that I'm not bummed out about. I look at the very beginning to that first year making 60 grand a year, and I'm making a heck of a lot more than that now. And now I don't even have to sell next year. So to me, it's like, yeah, but I could have done it's like, no. You got to look at the blessing in everything, right? So it's like, I look back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I persisted through a lot of really, I mean, it was not puppy dogs and ice cream. It was like, I had a kid and me and my wife like fought about opening the agency. And then it was like no sleep and like so much craziness of pain to get.
I was a psychologist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get
He
paid?
was.
I mean, I got to see his mistakes the 1 month prior, and I'd always, okay, that's good.
He was.
It still took me like we didn't have any. It was us two, and then interviewing agents and learning. We were figuring it out.
You figure it out as you go. I mean,
right.
And nothing
no
wrong
support.
with that.
Yeah,
You just gotta have moxie to do it. You just
it
gotta
was
do
fun.
it.
It was like a big puzzle.
Yeah.
And then it all came into place. So when you thought, okay, internet leads, like what was going through your head, and like why did you land on internet leads? Why that?
So I figured, all right, so if I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I got to figure it out. So that's the humble pie I started eating last January.
Well, that's a good job, because a lot of folks will say, I can't figure it out. Oh, well, it doesn't work. Or I don't.
So I figured line yourself up with people who are figuring it out. So I started doing some research on who in this industry, in this company are successful. And I started bugging them. How are you doing this? How are you making this happen? Where are you getting it? And I just started bugging them, and I started getting little tidbits from different places. I started becoming like a Facebook stalker, started seeing things in there. And I never was part of any insurance group. Like I promised you guys, I didn't have any affiliations with insurance. I just did my thing and didn't deal with anybody else. And so I started opening my horizons. Who is doing it well, and what are they doing? And I started lining up with them. I started asking questions. And I don't know how many beers I had drank, but I was on Facebook and you guys popped up, and it linked up, and I watched it. And the next thing, I signed up for one of your classes, and I thought, aha, that's how we're going to, I started getting some answers. And you guys talked about leads and, making your LSPs professionals where they are doing the insurance selling, but not the dialing, because you're going to burn people out. And I could see that already happening. And, and staying in it, even when you want to jump off the bulls, just stay on it, because the ride's not over yet. And so the pieces just started coming together. I just started finding me mentors and people that are successful with positive attitudes. I had to get away from the negative nillies.
You got to run.
You got to run, because they will just
do your cardio, run away. And, and I just got part of your group, and, and that started lining up with people, started redesigning my day, what I was doing. I get up at 4:30 every morning, and I pray, and I sit in the quiet for a while. I do books, I read, I do, like this is my last book I'm reading. This, this is a good one.
Ooh, I haven't read that one.
I haven't even heard of it. I like it.
It's really good. It's
6 Types of Working Genius. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can head over there and look at what she held up.
A better way to understand your gifts, your frustrations, and your team. And it's a good book, but I just started, spending an hour and a half every morning developing me, because I was lacking. And until I could get myself better, I could never have a team that was going to excel where they needed to be personally and professionally. And so I had to break me down first. Yeah.
So this is really heady, but like, it's crazy how spiritual being a business owner and then a leader of a team, all that stuff is, because it does refine you as a person. So like, it either refines you as a person, I guess, or it destroys you because you're not doing the self-work to get better. So you're constantly negative, right? It's like, it's either one or two directions. Nothing ever stays still. So it's like, it's funny, like as a business owner, it's like, yeah, you either do one of two things. You either try to work on yourself, get better, and in turn that actually feeds your soul. It feeds you as a person. You grow as a person. So it's really rewarding, especially when you're a leader and you're trying to lead a team and trying to figure that out. Like the rewards of that is huge. But like, or you could be the business owner that like, this sucks, like this is happening, and it's going to destroy you as a person.
And the team, right?
Yeah.
Because they see you being negative, game over.
Game over. That your business starts going down. And if you don't ever try to get out of it, like all the negativity that you tell yourself of just, just going down that down road, just horrible.
It is. And, you might as well just go work at Safeway.
100%. You'd be happier.
Because but you got to, as a business owner, all the mistakes are mine. No matter what I'm doing and no matter what my team does, it's my mistake because I am the captain and I have to do better. And when I see mistakes happening, and that's what got, just pissed me off all this last year was I was dealing with mistakes I was making. I didn't even know I was making them. And then, because I was like, well, this is how I've always done it, but you had to learn. I had to learn fast. But then I figured out I have to also build my foundation for me, the person. I have to make it better. Because I started being a crappy wife and a crappy mother and because everything just feeds off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, the whole reason why I'm doing this is like I told you earlier, I'm a wife, a mother, and then I'm an insurance agent. And so if I don't keep that in balance, none of it works.
Yes. I love it. The whole ownership of everything seems like, I think when you don't do it, it feels like, well, if I took ownership of everything, I'd always be sad and mad at myself. But then it's really liberating. Like, I
think it empowers you.
It does empower you. It's the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah.
Because you can admit to yourself, I screwed up, but I'm going to fix it. And this 100%. Is how I'm doing it.
I'm going to learn. It's a lesson.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
it.
And if it costs money, it was tuition.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Literally. That's how I'm.
You learn a hell of a lot more from tuition in business than you do from tuition at college.
Yeah.
And it's probably less expensive.
Yeah.
These days.
Exactly. I think being where God put me here at the end of the road, He put me here to be a better person.
100%. I truly believe I would never, like I was just telling Craig not too long ago, like prior to being a business owner, which didn't happen until my mid 30s, I never took leadership positions at jobs and stuff like that. I didn't want it. Like I didn't want that responsibility or anything. And it's something that I avoided. Like there's no way I wanted to do that. No chance. I had opportunities. Nope, I don't want to do that. And then, when I finally decided to do that, and it's been so incredible how much growth and how much it's feeding me and my soul as a person. And that never would have happened if I didn't finally make the decision to do that. It's a huge gift to do that. It's a calling, I think, too. Like I wasn't called to do that in my 20s. It's happened in my 30s. Huh?
You weren't ready.
No. I was a mess.
No. I don't think I would have been ready for this gig that I'm on right now 10 years ago, guys. I'm ready now. I thought, I don't know, this last year's been pretty hard. I spent a lot of time down there looking at the time bandit and all the boats, get my mind right. And I call it my come to Jesus meetings because I have to walk out of here and go somewhere and just think and calm down, rationalize it, create a plan of how I'm going to solve the problem.
I love it. You got to read this book called, is it The Obstacle? Not The Obstacle is the Way. What's the Ryan Holiday book?
Obstacles the Way?
No, the one with time.
Time Bandit? I'm not helpful. While you're thinking of that, I just want to throw out a little philosophy that I was just thinking of is it's interesting how, like when we take responsibility for those mistakes and then we learn that mistakes are okay, right? Like it's going to happen. Like if we can't accept that we're going to make mistakes, then there's something wrong, right? Which is why it's so easy to blame. But I think that there's some indoctrination from when we're kids on mistakes because mistakes are so bad growing up, right? Oh, you made a mistake, you're in trouble, right? Like there's no lesson taught. It's more like you're in trouble now. And so really, and I think we carry that forward into this where it's so much easier to blame than to take responsibility because mistake is bad. We don't want to be bad. So I wonder if that's why that happens.
I think you're right. I think you want to transfer it to someone else.
Right. Because it's bad. And you're mad at them anyway because they're not doing anything. So
Yeah, my LSP had a crappy month. Oh, I must, we're going to have to let her go. No, before I'd ever do that, I got to look at why.
Right.
What did I do to not help her facilitate her goals and her dream?
Yep.
Yeah.
And, I've got to make doggone sure that I've done everything I can do. And that's the piece this last year I had to learn.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a huge one. Stillness is the key is that book.
Oh, stillness is the way.
Stillness is the way. Is that what it is? I thought it was
Stillness is maybe it's the key.
Stillness is the key. I think it's Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday.
Okay.
Super insightful. It brings up a bunch of examples of leaders and stuff in our past that when bad things happen and stuff, they just take time to quiet the noise, and almost a form of meditation. But like you're saying, in the morning, you just like that quiet time and to think. Like that's exactly what they did, how they came out with the best solutions possible. You think it's counterintuitive, but it's like,
get your mind right.
It's the most productive thing you can do.
And show some, my deal is I got to show gratitude for what I have, because we get so caught up in the negative. But doggone it, we are, we live in America. We live where we have these rights to do what we want to do. And we asked for this. You and I have asked to do this. Like you said, our calling. I value being an insurance agent. I value our job. I value what we do. I have handed life insurance checks to a widow at a funeral. I know the impact we can have. I have helped somebody build their house that lost everything, including their dog in it. And I have been, as insurance agents, we see the worst of something that can happen. And we're the ones who, if we do our job right, we can help them rebuild their lives.
Yep.
And to me, that's empowering. That is just such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And,
huge.
It's huge. It's a huge, huge job we have. We're not just selling insurance. We're actually, to me, we're very important to people. And, and that's where I get caught up in the internet leads and the web leads and the telemarketing and all the negative side of it. At the end of the day, we still have a very important job.
Yep. And it's tough because you have to shift them from getting something that's just some crap that they don't ever see and they don't want to pay for and they hate it to actually realizing, well, take them to where they'll stay on the phone. And then actually realizing, holy crap, thank you. Right. Like, and they can feel your passion coming through. Like when you're talking like that to somebody, it's like, forget about it. Nobody talked to me like that before.
No.
And then we were talking about, instead of necessarily us selling, it's us selling our team to be that way now. Right. Like as you step back one piece, and you could be even more effective because there's 40 hours a day of people doing that, sharing that message instead of just 8 hours a day of you, right?
That's where I've had to get better. That's where I've had to learn how to not be just, I'm so used to being the one selling and having the service team. This up here is a 360. I have to back off and teach my people and my team how to have that passion and understand you got to have the details. You got to put the attention on the details. Don't just sell a policy because you need to sell for the count. And that's why I don't want them to even know what other agencies are doing, because I don't want them to be focused on that. I want them to focus on their day and what they're doing and making sure they do it the right way every time.
Yeah.
When they get on the phone, that I can trust that they are doing the right thing by the insured on the other end. And, that to me is insurance. But boy, howdy, has it been a hell of a year trying to figure out that.
It's been a year.
It's been a year, but we're still here, and and we're still swinging, and I'm grateful for what I've got.
Yeah. And that was interesting that you brought up the gratitude part, because gratitude is the fuel, right? It's the fuel that keeps us going. So if you don't slow down and be intentional on your thoughts, be intentional on knowing, like, it's super easy for our mind to always see all the negative, but you have to be ultra intentional to look at the be grateful and look at all the stuff you have and how awesome it is. Like the industry that we're in and all those little pieces that you just talked about. If you're intentional with the gratitude becomes the fuel to take you through the hard time. Yep.
I mean, I've got friends who are like, you haven't made a penny and you've worked so hard, by yourself in Alaska, build an agency in the winter, literally, and you haven't, earned a penny. And I was like, but I'm building something. I am building something here. And right now I'm still building. I am in the foundation.
Are those friends business owners, or are they just folks with jobs?
Yeah, a couple of them are business owners, but it's a little different when you're selling a product versus selling insurance.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
two different mindsets when you're selling an ice cream cone and you're selling insurance. There's two different mindsets.
You get to
of business.
touch the ice cream. You get to eat the ice cream.
It's tangible.
Sometimes in the morning.
Yeah.
Delayed gratification, really. And what you should do, like I always thought of this in the past when I was putting all my money back into the business, was you just look at what you could sell it for, even at, whatever size it is. Look at the multiple that you could sell it for and go, oh, okay, so that I actually have equity. Like the equity is that multiple. It's like, okay, cool. That's awesome. That's a bank. Yep. It's in the bank. I don't even have to pay taxes on
cows right there. I mean, the cow and then, we AI the cow. We wait a year to get the calf on the ground. And I screw up and the calf dies. Guess what, folks? I have to feed that cow for another year before I even have a chance to see if I'm going to be blessed with a calf that I can sell a year later after that. So it's a 3-year turnaround.
That's
when you
rough.
have that mindset,
right?
And you go into this mindset, it takes time and you got to wait it out. You got to build it. And there's so much out of our control.
But leads produce results quicker than cows do.
Yeah, literally. They're not as fluffy, but yes.
Throw that on a shirt.
They're not as nice as cows, but
I mean, it's the same mindset. We have to just be positive. I'm very grateful for you guys.
Oh, well, we're grateful.
And I'm not going to get emotional.
We're grateful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Jackie, dude, I remember our phone call conversations when we first came into our world, and it was just awesome. Like you've been a beaming light of happiness, joy, energy, gratitude. Like you're always so awesome to be around you. So
well, thank you guys. There's been days I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out thinking, what the hell am I doing? And I'm listening to your podcast, or I'm on the Wednesday meeting, and you guys give me that encouragement that I need to keep going forward. I'm okay. This is all okay. This is all going to work out.
That's awesome.
You guys do it for us too.
Well,
yep.
It's become
not magic. We're building the plane as we're flying also. As we're taking off.
I saw that podcast. I did. Yes. It's, I think in this uncertainty times we just got to surround yourself with good people.
100%. Yep.
Like-minded, good people, positive.
Yep.
Never ever give up.
What is what's the entrepreneur on fire guy?
Dumas.
What does Dumas say? You're the sum of the five people that you hang out with the most, right? So if you're hanging out with 5 negative people, I used to hang out with a lot of negative people.
Too.
And you know what? I was not a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, I used to hang out with a lot of people.
I drank so much.
Homer, Alaska, didn't know a soul. And then my best friend's a moose and a bear and
if it's 2 moose, is it meese?
No, I don't. I think it might be. Isn't that mice? No. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
It's a
mooses.
It's a niece. It's the niece of a mouse is a meese.
I think
but
plural
sometimes
is moose.
you have to be alone to understand and appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I love it.
Yeah. Well, I thank you guys so much.
Well, we thank you, Jackie, especially. I mean, you've gone the distance on this, and I know we talked a little bit even before. So awesome. Your attitude is spot on, and I love, again, like I just said, I love the energy. I love the perspective and everything, and so thank you so much for what you do. I know a lot of times, as business owners, insurance agents, you as the business owner don't get the accolades as you should. So I want to thank you for everything you do for your team and for your community and everything else. So thank you.
Thank you guys. And Wiley says thank you. He's right back there. You see
look at Wiley.
There's Wiley the coyote.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. And I remember the day when Brandon said, hey, look, we got this. We have Jackie Crane up in Alaska signed up, and she's probably the nicest person I've ever talked to.
Yeah.
We have to figure this out. Because normally it's like, we're get them started and it just works. And this was like, oh man, all these hiccups. But if you're going to bring positivity and contribution and you want to win, then we want to be around you. Yeah. I want to be the sum of the 5 people that are all positive around me.
That's the best compliment someone can say. You want them on their inner circle because they bring something positive. Yeah. And as we get older, we realize how important that really is.
It's everything. It is crazy how simple that is, right? Like if everybody was just really great to each other, you wouldn't even have to be good at anything. Everybody would just want to be around you, you know?
One
It's
of
a
our
good lesson.
One of our mentors that we're in a thing, and he always talks about the ripple effect, right? Like every interaction that you have with anybody, no matter where it is, creates a ripple, right? Like if you're in the morning, they cut you off. If you pull up all pissed off and start flipping them off and have a meltdown, like that person's day may be wrecked. Now your day may be, or you go, maybe they're in a hurry. Take another sip of your Monster.
You're off of those.
I know. I only have 20 more days. So.
We can only control ourselves, guys. And and I have to admit, I mean, this last year, there's been moments that, oh crap, I hope nobody videoed me because it wasn't my best image, because you get so overwhelmed by all the negative and, all the things out of your control and the things you thought, you don't know, and the money's going out the window, and, and you're got to buy web leads. What the hell's web leads? And you've got to dial, 600 times a day. What? There's all this new things start hitting you, but, you just pivot. And you just, be grateful.
100%.
And all of a sudden, all that stuff you don't know and that's new and scary just becomes the new normal, right? I don't like to say the new normal, but I bet you I know what you're typing. So we are the distance. I think this may be the marathon one, which is awesome. Time flies when you're having fun with great people. So
yeah, Jackie Crane, you can't shut up.
Jackie Crane. No, this is phenomenal. I think that a lot of people are going to get a ton of value out of this. So we are super grateful for you coming on.
Thank you so much. And thank you behind you guys that support you and do what you do. And just thank you for being you.
Thank you. Yes. And I agree. Thank our team. Our team is phenomenal. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys, you have to come to Homer, Alaska. Maybe so I was going to suggest that when you're doing that whole where we need to ignite, I was going to say, why don't you come to Homer? And I'll teach you
that would be good.
Crabbing and salmon fishing.
Could we? So can you can't fly to Homer, right?
Yes, you can fly to Homer. You go to Anchorage, and then there's 2 airlines that come down. We have a good airline. We have an airport. We have
a little one.
We have the Navy. We have everything. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can fly down here, and I'll get you some Airbnbs, and we'll just have a dang good time.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We thought it was it'd be easier to get people to San Diego.
Yeah, that's probably true. I've never been to San Diego, so that's good.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the cold, my wife would probably love it. I got to talk her into it. But we come with 4 incredibly rambunctious kids, so
they're super chill.
Just bring them.
We are a wild bunch.
Well, I have 10 dogs, so does that count?
We're probably equal in volume, so I would actually it would be perfect to have them around.
2.25 dogs equals 1 kid.
Yeah,
is that the ratio? That's the conversion.
Well, Craig, next time you drive through Aztec, give it a hug for me.
I will. I'll take a picture in front of the sign.
Okay, you know where the A&W is
now. Huh?
You know where the A&W is in Aztec?
Yeah, I saw.
So that big river bottom that has a cross. That's mine. That's my place. Wow. We have 130 acres right there on the Animus.
Wow.
Yeah.
That river is so beautiful.
Yeah.
If
you need a place to stay, let me know. The house is empty. Oh, I should say that. No, we have good security.
I mean, it's not.
Don't worry. There's only my mom is listening.
Okay.
By this point, yeah, probably. Actually, she's not listening.
Yeah, I better let you guys go. But thank you.
Well, thank you, Jackie. And we will see you. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Yep.
Yay!
Bye, guys.
Bye. Hey, what are you still doing here?
Well, while you're still here and while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com. Yeah, if you weren't listening before, we took notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast. Using these strategies did help Craig and I write over $10 million in premium in the last couple years. And let me tell you, on this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the very same results. Again, that's live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us. And if you jump on with us, we are certain to 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.